2.
Comic Game and Movie Show.
And today we shall be
I'm doing another top 5.
doing our top 5. This one was my idea, so this isn't Sean's. This is my idea. I had this idea the other day because I was watching a like a video. It wasn't top 5 video or anything like that. It's not a complete ripoff. But it was this guy was talking about modern movies and how many problems they have, and most of these problems they could fix. They just don't. But anyway, this is our top 5 problems with modern day movies that we don't like that they could be fixed. My number 1. I'm gonna go first. My number 1 is the forced love story. That shit in movies bothers the hell out of me sometimes. Sometimes it works. Sometimes Sometimes love stories work. Other times they don't. Like Thor and Jane, or Lois and Superman.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to pick at both. I'm picking at both sides here. So
I got nothing to say about that one. I can't really I can't defend that. Yeah, Jane Foster and Thor, their chemistry was kind of
or Superman and Lois. That was just from the new Superman. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was just the fuck. Why? I don't know why. I guess because they want more women in the seats. Maybe I guess I don't know. Maybe that's why, but whatever. So, is that your number 1 too? Or
my number 1 is bad movies that get sequels.
Oh,
is bad movies that make a lot of money and just get a sequel, even though it was a bad movie, even though clearly the critic responds for it and everybody is telling you these movies are bad and they're just making a sequel and they don't make them better. That's when I don't know if I can categorize that as my number 1 or whatnot, but that's one of my biggest things. That's a big problem, when there's a bad movie that just makes money, so they just make a sequel just because it made money.
Cash grab.
So cash grabs. There you go, cash grabs. That would be my
number 2 is the comedic relief characters that don't need to be in movies. I can't stand that when a comedic relief is in a movie and he doesn't need to be there. Jar Jar Binks. Big example. I don't like comedic characters in movies that aren't supposed to be there. There are some movies where it's a little humor would go a long way, sure, but it doesn't need to be here. It just doesn't have to be here. I mean, if it's in here, okay, fine, but half the time their jokes go. So it's another thing. That's my number 2.
My number 2 is sometimes dated ideas, in terms of say specifically high school dated ideas, like the bully idea. The idea of what a bully really is in a high school is so outdated. The idea of certain things are a little outdated, and they keep doing them still, and it's just that's not a very good representation of what you're trying to show. And sometimes that does bum me. I felt that when I watch a little bit of what was I thinking about the other day when some of the classic Spider-Man movies with the bullies beating the shit out of the guy in the middle of the hall, just bullying it. That really doesn't happen anymore. So when you think about that, if a bully is, if you see another guy fighting another guy, they're both big guys fighting. You rarely see it where some bully is beating up some freak. You rarely see that crap anymore. It's and if it happens, it's outside of school. They're not dumb. So I think that some of the more cliche things that they do is another thing
I think
that
so
I think
too.
Should probably be looked at.
My number 3, I think, about 3, yeah. My number 3 is the overuse of CGI when it doesn't have to happen. I understand.
I'll back you on that one.
I was no. I don't mind CGI when it has to happen. I don't. My rule of thumb with CGI is this: if it can be done practical, do it practical. If it's impossible to do it practical, then use CGI.
Ask Mad Max.
Mad Max is a fucking great example of that. There was only
almost the entire movie is completely practical
effects, and that Mad Max proves you can do it. You don't have to have this CGI gore fest like Speed Racer, but
there's a lot of movies.
But it's just CGI, heavy CG. Like I said, if it doesn't need to be there, put practical effects. Get creative. Be creative. Have fun with it. Mm-hmm. Don't always be oh well, fuck. You know what? Fuck it. I feel lazy today. Just send off the computer guys. They'll come up with something. Have fun with it. But anyway, that's my number 3.
I gotta think. Well, now it's 4 because we both agreed on that. That's my number 3 too. Is heavy CGI.
4.
Heavy CGI. I agree with you on that one.
So all right, we'll just keep it 4. Then.
My number 4 would probably be when certain studios try to put the horse before the cart, where they announce an entire trilogy or entire big thing before they ever even put out the first movie via DC. It even goes farther than that. Universal Studios. I'd even say, I'm looking forward to it, but even with King Kong and the whole thing with Godzilla, they announced all that crap before they ever even saw how Godzilla or King Kong was ever going to do. What if those movies bombed? You can't. What I'm trying to say is people trying to turn everything into a franchise.
Yeah.
Sometimes you should just make a movie, and if it's great and you have a fresh idea, then you make a sequel. But it's not like that anymore. Nowadays, when you make a movie, they're like, well, how can this be a franchise? You're like,
Yeah.
I was just talking about
that
making a
leads
movie.
into my number 4. My number 4 is the lack of original creativity. There's just not a whole lot. No one's coming up with anything new anymore. And it's not, and like I said, I don't like anyone who's, I hate how
a cliche thing to say nowadays, though. That Hollywood has no originality.
Well, not anymore. I mean, my thing is that anyone who says that, like Hollywood is, like everything's been done is bullshit. I think they're full of shit. There is Kingsman. Great idea, great example of an original movie that got...
Technically, that was a comic book first, so...
Well, point being is that was an original idea that they
true.
picked up from a comic. Yeah, it was a comic at first, but look, all right, we'll take the Marvel MCU. Original, completely idea that Hollywood never done before. Look how successful that's doing. Like,
and everyone's trying to do that.
Well, still.
See?
Still. Well,
yeah,
that
kind of adds to the point.
It kind of adds to the
trying
point
to
there. Is that like now? See, that's the thing. Marvel did such an original idea.
It had a cinematic universe.
Everyone's got to have cinematic universe. It's
everyone wants a cinematic.
Like
universe
no one
now.
wants to be. No one wants to sit down and be creative anymore. They just want to like take everything from everywhere else and see if they can make it good. Just have some kind of creative bone in your body to where, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Fine, then take inspiration from somewhere else. But if it does work and you're like, listen, this can work and making a movie, then great, do that. That's my number 4. Anyway, now I'm number 5.
Your number 5. That was your number 5, wasn't it?
No, that was my number 4.
Oh, my number 5.
We didn't have the same number 4.
Oh yeah, right. My number 5, like I really don't have a crap ton of them, so like that's why I kind of have to rack my mind with things that like.
This is only 5, so it's like we could find 5.
They completely annoy me, but probably would be on the lines of unnecessary sequels, like Mulan 2.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like some of the sequels to some of these movies that you classical Disney movies, and like some sequels happen that don't even need to happen. Whereas
it's like Aladdin 2. Like,
yeah, Aladdin
that one was
2,
just like,
and like there's certain movies get like sequels. Like they're talking about making a Moana 2, which I'm just like, why are you making a Moana 2?
Moana 1 was fine,
that
perfect.
was good as it is. Like some movies, just like
Disney sequels or cartoon movies are bad.
Yeah,
the live action remake's been good so far.
Mm-hmm.
All of them have been good. So and I mean, their newest one they're making is Aladdin. I can't wait to see that.
That's it. Unnecessary sequels, and another. If I have to make an honorable mention, is when studios get too involved in the making of their products and whatnot.
Yeah.
This isn't just a movie thing. This is a video game thing.
Yeah.
This is a cartoon thing, an anime thing, anything. When studios get way too involved in the creator's hands, just ask the guy who made Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
You just get too involved.
Oh yeah, ask Kojima about how Konami treated him.
That's a problem, and like it's becoming a big deal right today. Now, granted, one of the studios that are making it kind of bad, and as a Marvel fan, I have to admit this, is Marvel, because the studio, because Kevin Feige is the producer. He's pretty much the studio. He has his hands in all of the movies, so there's the excuse that, well, it worked for Marvel.
Doesn't work for anyone else.
It doesn't work for everyone, though.
Doesn't work for everyone. My number 5 is damn, I had it in my head. Shit. My number 5 is actually, this is gonna be kind of weird, maybe a little controversial even. My number 5 is actresses that can't act because they don't want their faces to be contorted. Like, this isn't just women. This is men too. Women basically acting because you want them to stay looking good. I've seen that in a lot of movies where they don't change their face because it's so weird. And I think the reason because of that,
I'd say that too, and actors who just do the same thing
it's not just
over and
women.
over
It's
again.
men do it too. Don't get me wrong, men do it too, but it's mostly with women, and
Yeah.
it makes no sense because it's like a lot of these female actresses, a lot of them, some of them are great. Don't get me wrong, some of them are great, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more that just kind of stick with the same face. Even there's a scene in a movie, I can't remember what it was, where she's crying, and there's tears running down her face, but she has this blank face. I'm like, wait, you know that a real woman would be like, she'd have she has no reaction on her face because they don't want her to contort it to make her look weird and bad. Like, I hate that shit. Like, be more facially acting. Be an actress. Don't be just there. Basically what I'm trying to say. Men do it too, though. It's not just women.
Well,
men do it too.
It's a weird thing because like some people, actor and actresses don't try to. They do the same stick.
They do the same stick over and over
If it's one
again,
complaint I've ever had about Leonardo DiCaprio lately, is he kind of plays the same character in
Over
a
and
lot of
over.
the movies he's in. Outside
It's
of
like Mark Wahlberg,
outside of Django
big time.
Unchained, when he played Candy, which was one of his best performances, and no one talks about that.
Yeah.
he really plays the same guy.
No, super
And same thing with Mark Wahlberg, that he plays the same guy. I mean, like, there's
that's something I can't stand.
some people
I
do
can't
that,
stand
like,
that.
and you know, I mean, it is what it is. But
Yeah, it
like,
is, but it's just so stupid because I mean, it's like, you know, you get. I mean, like I said, when you don't change your face when you should, especially in moments where most people would be like, their faces would be all over the place. Like half the time, and even that they're completely monotone and dead half the time. So out of half of those actors that don't change their face, even more are just so dead. They're like, oh no, I can't believe this happened. Like where's the acting? Like,
what are you, Wonder Woman?
oh god, no, don't. God damn it, Sean. But anyway,
Somebody,
damn it.
Somebody comment. You guys can't let it go.
No, we can't let it go. Anyway, guys, that's our top 5 things about movies we can't modern day movies we can't stand. But anyway, guys, if you have a top 5 list about things about modern movies you don't like, put them in the comment section below. We'd love to see your feedback. And thank you for joining us on
Comic and Movie Show.
And we shall see you on the next one. Goodbye.
So, the bigger the bill, the harder you ball. Well, I'm going mine. I can do this all day. Cause my money long. The quicker you're here, the faster you go. That's not way I